Hello audience, you are watching the news of CNN TV station. Conquest is perhaps the greatest and most wondrous conquest that man has ever made. Exploring the vast universe has been a dream for thousands of years. But it was not until the 20th century that it became more exciting than ever. Russia and the US, two great powers, has created a spectacular space race. As a result, a series of milestones have been created, mark the important step in the journey of conquering human space. The milestone in the journey of conquering human space, from the manufacture of the first comet ship, the first time the man fly around the earth, the first time the person set his leg on the moon, building the International Space Station. Today, with the development of science and technology, can people really dream live on Mars? How will people develop the tourism industry? Will people find out Earth's civilization? What are the extraordinary miles that people will achieve? To better understand us to contract the permanent editorial in the United States.
I'm Hui Chang with Discovering the Universe on CNN TV. Today, we will meet crews at the ISS, the International Space Station, then explore planets and space conquest of humans. I'm currently at NASA to connect to the station. The vast universe contains countless planets. Now, we are going to explore the planets in the solar system. The solar system has 8 planets, including the Earth. Can you tell us about them?
Mercury. Mercury is the planet closest to the Sun and also the smallest planet in the system. It's known to the ancient Romans and Greeks and visible to the naked eyes. Has a radius of 2,347.7 kilometers, a mass of up to 33,022 by 1,023 kilograms, and an oblate spherical shape. Mercury has no atmosphere to protect it from the sun's constant radiation, and its surface temperature during the day can reach 430 degrees Celsius, but drops extremely deeply at night, down to minus 180 degrees Celsius. This tiny planet has no moon. Its surface is pitted and has many long craters similar to the moon. Mercury also does not have the same weather variability as other planets. Venus. Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. Venus, also known to the ancient Romans and Greeks and visible to the naked eyes, has a radius of 6,051.8 kilometers and a mass of about 4,868 by 1,024. Its atmosphere is a very thick layer of carbon dioxide gas and absorbs a lot of heat, bringing the surface temperature here to 471 degrees Celsius. Places on this planet are named after goddesses or famous women on Earth. Venus is a slow rotating planet and rotates in the opposite direction of most planets.
So interesting. Which planet are we going to mention next?
Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun and the second smallest planet in the solar system, just larger than star water. It is often referred to as the red planet due to the abundance of iron ore on the planet. Many investigations into the possibility of habitability on Mars in the past, as well as the possibility of life are underway. Astrobiological targets being planets, such as the European Aviation Administration rolling Franklin rovers, Lewis water cannot exist or make due to its low atmospheric pressure less than 1% of the atmospheric pressure on Earth. The two pros of make appear to be composed lengths of weather.
Next is Jupiter. Jupiter is the fifth planet from the Sun and is the largest planet in the solar system. It is a gas giant with a mass 1,000 of the Sun but 2.5 times the total mass of all the other planets in the solar system combined. Jupiter is classified as a gas giant along with Saturn. Jupiter contains mainly hydrogen and helium, mainly gases and liquid matter. It is the largest gas giant in the solar system with a diameter of 142,984 kilometers at the equator. Jupiter also has the largest atmosphere in the solar system, extending more than 5,000 kilometers with altitude. It is permanently covered with clouds of ammonia, glycerol, and possibly ammonium hydrogen sulfide. The most famous feature of Jupiter is perhaps the Great Red Spot, a storm whose rotation is opposite the two of Jupiter's rotation. Jupiter has a faint planetary ring system consisting of three main rings. The innermost ring of particles of halo, the relatively bright main belt, and the outermost thin belt. And as of July 2018, Jupiter has 79 natural satellites. Saturn is the sixth planet by mean distance from the Sun and the second largest in diameter and mass after Jupiter in the solar system. Saturn is a gas giant with an array radius 9 times that of Earth, although the planet's mass is 95 times that of Earth, with a volume 763 times larger. Saturn's average density is only 1/8 that of Earth. The main component of the planet is hydrogen. Saturn's atmosphere shows up with bands of color similar to those of Jupiter, but certain bands are dimmer and wider at the planet equator. The ring of Saturn is the largest planetary belt in the solar system. Saturn is perhaps best known for the planetary ring system that makes it the most striking. So far, Saturn has at least 62 moons, 53 of which have been named.
Still have two more planets to explore, don't we?
I would like to tell you about them. Firstly, I will tell you about the Uranus. Uranus is the seventh planet from the Sun. It is the third largest radius and most massive planet in the solar system. Uranus has the same composition as Neptune. The atmosphere of Uranus is similar to Jupiter and Saturn in basic composition, such as hydrogen and helium. These planets have the coldest atmosphere of any active planets in the solar system, with a minimum temperature of -224 degrees Celsius. It has a cloud structure. The lowest clouds are likely to contain water elements. while methane occupies the predominant layer in the upper cloud layers. In contrast, the interior of Uranus consists mainly of a core, ice, and rock. Secondly, I will tell you about the Neptune. Neptune is the eighth and farthest planet in the solar system. It is the fourth largest planet in diameter and the third largest by mass. Neptune has the highest density of the gaseous planets in the solar system. Neptune has 7 times the mass of Earth and is slightly heavier than a slightly larger mass. Neptune orbits the Sun at an average distance of 30.1 astronomical units, about 30 times the Earth's Sun distance. Neptune is named after the Roman god of the sea, Neptune. It had the astronomical symbol, which is a stylized symbol of Neptune's trident or the Greek letter BSI.
Fascinating. Universe is so vast that the discovery of planets has been a huge turning point. But not stopping there, humans continue to make bigger milestones when flying into space. Can you help us better understand it?
Sputnik 1 was the world's first artificial satellite built by the Soviet Union and was launched by an R-7 rocket on October 4, 1957. Sputnik 1 orbits the Earth for 3 weeks before its battery is dead, then remains silent for another 2 months before re-entering the atmosphere. The unimaginable success of Sputnik 1 and the American Sputnik reached and triggered the space race. Its launch is the beginning for a new era of political, military, technological, and scientific development.
How wonderful! And about the first rocket launch?
The first day of flight on April 12, 1981, it had a 184 feet diameter, 28.5 feet, Mach 4,470,000 lpm rocket stage 2. The space had 3 components, including OV and ET. When the space launch, the rocket duo is released before the spacecraft reaches orbit, and the internal fuel tank is removed before the spacecraft begins the process of reaching orbit. At which time, the spacecraft will use up to 2 orbital control engines. At the end of the mission, the spacecraft will use 2 more orbital control engines to leave orbit and re-enter the atmosphere.
Not only launch rockets, people also build space stations. One of them is your station, the ISS. I can't wait to hear it.
The International Space Station weighs almost 400 tons and covers an area as big as a football pitch. It would have been impossible to build the space station on Earth and then launch it into space in one go. There is no rocket big enough or powerful enough to get around this problem. The space station was taken into space piece by piece and gradually built in orbit. Approximately 400 kilometers above the Earth's surface, this assembly requires more than 40 missions. A partnership between European countries represented by ESA, the United States, NASA, Japan, GASA, Canada, CSA, and Russia Roscosmos, the International Space Station in the world's largest international cooperative program in science and technology.
Not stopping there, humans have even flown into space. On April 12, 1961,
An event occurred and became a turning point for the world. The first human carrying cruise ship to leave Earth, entering the orbit of the Earth, and the person who made that flight were Yuri Alexeyevich Gagarin. He was born in 1934 as a Soviet pilot and cosmonaut. On April 12 at 9:07 a.m., the Vostok 1, weighed 473 tons, left the launch pad. After 10 minutes, the train entered orbit at a speed of 29,000 km/h, reaching a maximum altitude of 327 km. After 108-minute flight, when the spacecraft completed a rotation around Earth orbit at exactly 10:55 a.m., the Vostok 1 spacecraft landed safely in a field on the bank of the Volga River. Since then, Gagarin had also become a legend.
Awesome. And according to my research, humans even set foot on the moon. I would love to know about the first person to do it.
Neil Armstrong was an American astronaut and aerospace engineer and the first man to set foot on the moon. He was also a naval aviator, test pilot, and university professor. On July 20, 1969, Neil Armstrong and astronaut Buzz Aldrin aboard the Apollo 11 spacecraft set foot on the moon in front of hundreds of millions of television viewers around the world. The events were televisioned live around the world and several hundred million people watched on black and white television screens. He left a famous saying, "This is one small step for man, but one can left for mankind." After making mankind's gantry on the moon in 1969, astronaut Neil Armstrong maintained a calm life and away from the glory of the past. Charles Bolden, NASA director, every history book will mention Neil Armstrong. People will say he was the first person to set foot on the extraterrestrial body.
Amazing. I believe that in the future, humans will go further in the space conquest journey. Meeting everyone, I had an exciting conversation. Thank you very much for that. I hope that you will have a great experience at the space station and return safely. Besides, thanks to the spectators for watching. See you next week on CNN TV.